Hi, everyone. Live from the Southern Command today. It is a girl, a guy, and a movie. With me today is my co host and probably lifelong friend, Miss Janet from another planet.
Probably.
Probably. I'm sorry, I met you when I was like 47. Can't
Well,
really say, like, remember back in high school? No, that's not going to happen. You would have. You would have been like, God, I can't stand Bruce. He's too fucking obnoxious. Um,
well, I'm
no,
not doing it now.
well, no, I'm.
I
I've,
know
I've,
you're
I've
obnoxious sometimes, but we all
learned
get away.
learned my lesson now. Anyway, today we are discussing a movie from 1984, one of my favorite directors of all time, and there's a couple movies he's done that are stinkers.
Hmm.
And this movie he envisioned, and he started writing the ideas down, getting the ideas generated when he was a kid, like 12 years old. And this is a movie called, why am I brain farting? This is,
Street
yeah, Streets of Fire. Wow, Bruce, that's almost as bad as when Tony Danza's like got the CD in his hand. Today we've got a band on the show. What the fuck's their name? And he just stares at the CD from the band that's going to be playing live on his show.
hmm
And he looks at his band leader and he's like, He's got the deer in the headlight look, like, oh fuck, I'm Tony Danza. I punch shit. It's fucking great. Icons of the 70s, 80s. So
hmm
yeah, we watched Streets of Fire today. It's the first time I've watched it all the way through. And Janet, have you ever seen or heard of this movie before?
I had never heard of it until you asked or said that you'd put it on the list and that you wanted to watch it. So,
Hmm.
and then when you showed the trailer, I was like, okay, it seems interesting. And I loved Michael in Eddie and the Cruisers. So I thought, wow, this will be another musical I get to watch and enjoy. Even though he wouldn't be the singer, I still was excited about watching it because I do like William Defoe too.
I don't know a single person that doesn't like William Defoe. William Defoe is one of the best actors of our time. I honestly feel this,
Yeah.
and he's never really turned in a shit performance.
He's just good at everything. There's been a few other actors that I feel the same way about. You know, like Gene Hackman. I'm trying to think of a few others. Um,
I
but yeah,
mean,
go ahead.
he's an A tier actor for me. He's not like the best of the best of the best, but he does so well with what he's given. It's never his performance that will fail me. It's the script.
Yeah, yeah,
And
he's good at every character, even in bad movie. He's good at it because he's
what
that.
bad movie was he in?
I don't know. I'd have to go through the list of all his movies, and I'll let you know. But I have seen a couple that I didn't think he was as. He was great, but I thought the movie wasn't as good. What was the movie that he was in? He dressed as a woman and he got in that one fight that we watched. Was that
Boondock
American
Saints.
Badass? What
Boondock
was it?
Saints.
Oh, Boondock Saints. Yeah, he was so good in that one. So,
Yeah, and
I
on
love
the set of
Boondock.
that movie, to the bouncer that was a script writer that turned into a in-demand movie director,
Mhm.
he admitted to that guy that he was gay as shit. I mean, I didn't care. My life didn't change. I did not lose money on this,
Mhm.
but I I was kind of shocked. Um, yeah, Lloyd brings up the fact he's from Wisconsin. He's a cheesehead.
Well, that was one of the things that when we first started watching it, and I knew it was about gangs because you figured that out from watching the trailer. But when that one scene where it's in his bar, I guess, and you have this real cute little tiny thing. It looks like she weighs 90 pounds in heels dancing for all these thugs, in the club. And there was a guy singing, and he was great. I love the song. He was singing and she's dancing to it, and then one of them pulls on her skirt and it comes off and she's wearing like a thong and these see-through net uh hose. And I thought, wow, she's a good dancer. But I was having a hard time wondering whether or not she was supposed to be a woman or a guy. Even though there wasn't anything on it to make it look like a guy. I just was wondering, but it was from the 1980s, the movie, right?
84.
So I was like, well, I don't think they're trying to put that in the movie for us. But the thing is, I just loved it. I thought that scene was really, really well done, to kind of give you an idea of why I guess these guys like their leader of this gang so much, because he gives them so much to do. They have a nice place to hang out, hot girls, and they pretty much get to rule the town.
You have the 1950s car culture, sock hop, pompadours, and
Mhm.
you got that, and then you have the motorcycle gangs that were inspired by watching the bad guys, the Nazis, ride around on their motorcycles, and so the 50s motorcycle movement was kind of inspired by the bad guys.
Yeah, and the only thing that broke me up from that one scene I was talking about was the fact that William Defoe walks through wearing that pompadour hairstyle. It's like flat in the middle and flops over on the sides,
Mhm.
and it's lifted up like lots of gel. And he's wearing waders. I was like, he's wearing fishing waders. I had a hard time with it. Take him as a leader of a gang, and he's wearing that. I just I couldn't stop laughing for like 5 minutes during the movie because I was like, why is he wearing that horrible outfit?
Okay,
Took me out
um,
of the character.
Janet. Again, this is 1984, filmed in 1983, and parachute pants had made their way to the Midwest.
He wasn't wearing parachute pants.
Parachute pants, baby.
I
When
know.
you remember parachute pants? I
Yes.
I actually I actually kind of wonder what Janet would look like in a big fluffy hoodie with parachute pants on.
I don't know if I
That's after that. Okay.
wear that, but I had a hard time getting past that one part.
There's a lot of this movie I have a hard time with.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say that like this movie was amazing and it's redefined how I look at like neo noir culture, because this movie does not do for me what I wanted it to.
Mhm.
Like the first act, I thought I was watching a spiritual sequel to the Warriors because of all the elevated train shots and all the various things with the gang culture and them
Mhm.
trying to get the girl back, and Michael Perry, just being that guy that he doesn't speak much, he just tries to be a badass and cool. I thought, well, this is a kind of a spiritual sequel to it. We got Ajax back, or Ajax's retarded brother, and I I'm sorry. The more I think about this, I'm in error. I've been in error all my life. I thought Michael Perry was a good actor, and then I saw this film, and I realized that my admiration of Michael Perry has been misplaced, and I've really fouled up things. I thought that he was good. I thought he was good for movies. I thought he was a success, but I don't think there's but one movie of his I've seen out of the 10 so far that I really like. And it really hinges on the fact that Michael Perry acts like a discount version of Sylvester Stallone, who isn't really that great of an actor. I mean, we got to see him really do his chops in Rambo Part 1, but Michael Perry never has shown us that level of intensity or the dedication to the craft. And I'm really upset that I thought Michael Perry was really good. But I also saw the movie The Philadelphia Experiment as my first Michael Perry film that I've ever seen. And I'm like, wow, that's awesome. And everything since then is terrible. And it's really not his fault. He was gassed up and told he was the next big thing because they
Mhm.
compared him to Tom Cruise and to Patrick Swayze, and then you have Michael Perry. And like, no, this is not Dalton from Roadhouse. This is not. And this is a movie that could have been really fucking good. But Michael Perry's character is kind of dull. He's a quiet man, doesn't say much, doesn't really emote much. He's kind of like Brie Larson, but if you take out the feeling.
He's
And
way better than Brie Larson ever thought of being.
I mean, she at least, I bet if Brie Larson was a cheese, she would smell good. Michael Pere doesn't come
Things
across
like
that
that.
way to me.
Brie is cheese, right?
It is, and I do love Brie,
Well, it
but
wasn't him that made the movie bad. It was
no,
just bad
there's a
script.
lot of this
The
movie.
script was bad. It's hard for most people to act and do well in a movie that has a bad script.
Yeah, and this movie does nothing in in its defense. It does nothing to apologize for the script. What it does do, and it does very forcefully, it shoves the spectacle of the film in your face. So you get to see amazing craftsmanship with set design, props. You get to see great looking cars. You see motorcycles that you'd be envious of seeing somebody else ride. If you like to ride bikes and you see one of these on the road, you're gonna be like, man, that's the fucking life right there. Like, give me my fucking wife beater and some shorts, and let me go on that for about 2 hours down the road at 70 mph. I'll be happy. And that's what a lot of people would be thinking. This movie has so much sorry, so much spectacle to it. It is so well done in terms of spectacle. This movie, it deserves the cult hit status it has because it inspired a lot of other things since then. But the movie itself, William Defoe is the shining force of this movie because we get Diane Lane, who she was a good actress, and we got to see that in '83 when she did The Outsiders and when she did Rumblefish. She was pretty good in both those movies.
I didn't think she was very good in this movie, even though the script was bad. Even if it was good, I just didn't see her as a. This is supposed to be a young woman who's an up and coming singer that's going to make money, sell records, and thrill people in concerts. And she just was as boring.
She lip syncs pretty poorly.
But she
She
had no
she just-
energy. The girl that played the tomboy that was ex-military that stopped in, I'm trying to remember what her name is.
Amy Madigan played McCoy.
Madigan. Her character was like 10 times more thrilling and exciting than this girl. I mean, she was. I couldn't even see why the other guy was going to pay $10,000 to have Michael's character save her once they kidnapped her.
I didn't understand that either, but I didn't like
to kidnap her was shocking to me because she was so boring. She's the dud.
This movie has a lot of good parts to it. You've got William Defoe, you got Amy Madigan, and they do a very good job with imparting to you the world and the reality which they live in. Then you have Rick Moranis, that for some odd reason he's in this movie. I love Rick Moranis. I hated his role, and the script that they gave him to do was dog shit. More so, you can see it on his face when the movie's going on. He doesn't enjoy himself in this movie at all. He's just reading the script. He's not allowed to improvise. I'm sure he had some funny shit to say.
I saw him playing a hard-nosed man that was raised there in this ghetto area that he's having to be in right now to get go to these concerts because he's trying to help his star, his best asset right now, to become a huge success. And he was having to go back to her roots, basically.
He's going to have a spirit Halloween if he puts his money on her. That's all I could think of.
But the thing is that he was a hard nose, and he's a guy that looks down his nose at where he came from. He doesn't want to go back there. He doesn't want to be associated with anybody from there because he's risen above that. And he sees her as an equal because she's rising above it too. But he thinks she's beautiful and he thinks she's very talented. So he is wanting to help her, and he's helping himself with her help, basically. But he just looks down at everyone else, and he doesn't want to end up ever going back there and end up in the street, basically.
I can
He's got that chip on his shoulder attitude.
I can empathize with that because I never want to have to drive in Illinois ever again. I know at some point I'll have to go back there, and I know at some point it's not going to be a great visit, but I just like all the things that were there when I was a young kid growing up are gone now. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the people that I grew up with are gone now. A lot of the people that I went to high school with are gone now. Either they're dead or they moved the fuck away. Because otherwise, you're there trying to figure out how to make this meth palatable. And that's about it. That's there's very low futures unless you're in agriculture where I'm from. And so I really enjoy what I'm doing now. I know that sounds weird to be a sanitation specialist and enjoy that job, but it's either this or I work at Walmart for what, 10, $16 an hour and maybe make 32 hours a week.
Mhm.
I could live in a house with like 7 other people and 10 cats. I bet you I'd commit suicide. I'd blow my head clean the fuck off the stem of my neck.
Yeah,
I I'm
probably.
I want to like this movie because there's so much spectacle to it that when I was a young kid, I thought this was a tits. I thought the middle of the movie had so much to offer because there was an amazing set design. You had elevated trains, you had the motorcycles, you had the greasers, you had Michael Perry looking awesome, and you had the guy from Ghostbusters kind of being cool. When I saw this movie from start to finish, I was like, ooh. And the soundtrack is a glowing part of the movie too. Uh, Hardwick and I kind of agree on this. I might get the soundtrack. There's some parts of it that I thought was Laura Branigan's B sides.
Mhm.
I really was digging that.
It did have a lot of a feel of Laura Branigan music.
I
It to me, the whole movie was like a giant MTV video.
it
That's what
was
kept coming in my head. The
it
inspiration for this movie was MTV.
it did so well, and MTV was the new media on the block. It had been out for 2 years by the time it released, so everybody wanted MTV. Everybody wanted MTV. And you know, this film just had a lot to offer that generation. Gen X, we have to remember who we are, where we came from. At the time, this was what we thought the future was going to be. You know, we're going to have stylized everything. Neon would be everywhere. Hot chicks be in leather pants. Every fourth woman. You know, you thought it would. You thought that was going to be your life, and you were given a glimpse of a world that looked cool, and it was a little commercialized, but you had some realism to it, and we thought that we were going to see something different than what we got. Generation X has not levied its anger at the boomers yet. It will, I'm pretty certain.
Yeah, it will.
But it,
It tells every generation.
yeah, I mean, throughout the entire film, I'm thinking that I'm hearing this girl that's doing the actual vocals. It's not Diane Lane, and
And
I wanted
we,
it to be.
we figured out who it was. Do you have her to share?
No, I don't. I like staring at Laura Branigan. That brings back fond memories. So okay, go. What's her name?
I don't remember. It
Okay.
the band was called
In 4 weeks, we will not
Fire
go
Inc.
this movie.
Fire Inc. was the name of the band. I thought
Okay.
that played some of the songs from this album. I'd have
Now,
to look it up.
there's also something that I need to make aware. This movie was often imitated. It made a big splash in Japan. And when I say that, I mean it made a big splash in Japan. There's like 7 different anime that took direct inspiration of this movie. And they start off like if you watch the first Bubblegum Crisis, you're going to see the start of this movie. And I know that's probably not a big thing for a lot of you, but for those of you that grew up in Gen X and Jap anime, oh my God, Battle of the Planets, Akira, Ninja Scroll, give me all the Jap anime you got, Blockbuster. And like some of it sucked, some of it was all right. You know, Appleseed was not good the first time around. The second time, I thought it was pretty good.
Mhm.
But I gotta say that there's a lot of Jap anime that mimics this film, and so you see it repeated in another culture's media that is not the Timu version of this, but they actually kind of exceed this movie. And I got to give some people some credit because they took inspiration from it, but they ran with the ball and they crossed the end zone. They made it their own. I like this film, and I like it for the fact that it inspired others. Watching this movie is painful. Watching Rick Moranis for me is painful in this movie.
Oh, I don't know why you hated his part so bad. I've seen
I think
something
his script
worse.
is shit.
Well, the script is shitty. Okay, it's a shitty script, but that's for everyone in the movie, not just Rick Moranis. The fact that Rick Moranis gets to play an uppity guy that's trying to crawl out of the gutter away from where he was and
I can empathize with that.
war, so he looks at the people coming from there or that he's having to deal with as beneath him, because he's trying to rise above that, become a Wall Street person, someone that's in the industry of movies and singing and record deals and acting deals or whatever he can get. That's what he's trying to make a name for himself. So he's trying to distance himself from where he came from. And so is she. I mean, the whole thing is about her ex-boyfriend getting out of the military and coming back right as he's finding out from his sister that she was kidnapped by a ruthless gang from the neighborhood or whatever. Yeah. So the whole thing, that's how all these different characters come together to try to figure out how they can save her and get her from this gang guy, which is William Dafoe. He's running this gang, and they're called the Bombers. Right? Mm-hmm. Something like that. And I thought that was great. Some of the scenes, you could tell they did a phenomenal job at building them, because to me, a lot of them did seem like the underworld of a big city, like under the bridges where they have all the train tracks and
all the Boweries, all the dumb places.
The ghetto area, not really the ghetto, but the lower class income area of a big city is what it seemed like. And these are all like where gangs would hang out and make money, and the smaller families that have a hard time making ends meet, like single parent households and things like that. It's what it had, that vibe. But they did a good job, because even the fact that they hose down the streets and stuff, which they do in all movies, to take glare and absorb the light so it doesn't reflect so much from different areas. And they like the glow that some areas will have. I don't know why they do that. They don't do it in every movie, but they do it in a lot of movies. But they even did that to make it look like they filmed somewhere in the city, which was smart on the part of those people that did that. But you could tell that the costumers, the ones who did the wardrobes for everyone, they did a phenomenal job, because, like I said, I had a hard time with Willem Dafoe wearing waders. At least that's what it looked like. It looked like he was wearing waders that came up to here with straps. And he was no shirt. I just had a hard time taking him as a serious thug, ruling these mean, ornery bikers, dressed that way. He just was so lame. But I love William Dafoe, so I was able to get past it because who he is. But when they pulled up in that one scene before the sledgehammer scene, there was like 60 bikers, all on matching bikes, and they all had black leather jackets and boots and blue jeans. They looked tough as hell, and they're all wearing black hats, like, it was a huge gang, and that they were going to kick some ass. That's what it looked like. It was very intimidating. So I loved that whole scene, which took a lot of work, because you had to have the casting department get all those people. You had to have the props department, make sure they all had motorcycles, and that there was cars parked here and there throughout the neighborhood, and trash, laying around like a busy slummy area in town would have. And then you had the set design people that did all that, and then you had the wardrobe department. So all of them worked together really well.
The visuals in this movie are second to none, really.
Yeah, they you could tell they spent a lot of money. And when we looked into it, I think it was Hardwick that found it for us. The whole thing about how much they went over budget was, because it was like $14 million to make the movie, so they went over budget building all of this to make it as realistic as possible. So you could definitely tell they put it into it. It was the story that to me, everything falls back on that. Usually I complain about editing because the editing, it makes the movie bumpy and jumbly, like things don't go together like they're supposed to. Or like you've many times have said, you didn't like the music of the soundtrack ruined it for you for the movie. It ruined the whole movie.
Soundtrack didn't ruin this movie.
Yeah.
I don't understand why I like the soundtrack for this better, and yet I grew up in the 80s and I should enjoy the Bruce Springsteen a lot more because I really enjoyed what little snippets I heard of Eddie and the Cruisers on commercials.
Mhm.
When I actually sit down to listen to the Eddie and the Cruisers soundtrack, it's not bad, but it's completely forgettable for me. This here had some good songs. I really thought Laura Branigan had done part of this because she was in that media era of I mean, you've got Lose Control, you've got Gloria, you've got the entire album. Te Amo is great. I mean, a lot of stuff that you see in this movie. I hate to fucking say it's Temu version in a lot of this, but Walter Hill did not have millions and millions and millions of dollars to throw at this movie. He was over budget, what, 14 million by the time it was over? And I mean, between that
14 point something million, so they were millions.
Yeah.
They went way over budget.
Yeah, and they were trying to get a hold of Bruce Springsteen to contribute his talent for the soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why they do that because you have Diane Lane, who's supposed to be the lead singer of this movie. You let her fucking take point. Yeah, you do have the quartet that sings, and they do a good job. The
last scene, the singers that sing "I Can Dream About You."
Yeah, I Can Dream About You.
I loved it. I thought they were phenomenal. I just loved
they really are talented. Like
their costumes that they had on, the jackets and the thin ties, and they were so charming. They were all debonair, gentlemen. They fit right into the genre that the movie was trying to portray for the 1950s and early 60s. I think the theme that they were trying to, for the dystopian empire or whatever you want to put in there, but that's what they were trying to do. And some of the costumes were really, really good when it came to that. The vehicles, they had a mixture. They didn't have like all 1950s vehicles in it either. It had a few other vehicles that looked like but they all looked old, like nostalgic cars.
Yeah.
And the motorcycles were
they were all reflective of the car worship culture of the 1950s
and biker culture.
Yeah, I mean, no, the 1950s vehicle culture, because you have the elevated railways, which, like, if you're in the urban area, you fucking depend upon that, or subways, and then you have the cars, and then you have the motorcycles, and between those three, that's the three legs you stand on to get around.
Yeah.
And if you don't have that, you know what? You're fucking walking everywhere. I hope it's within 5 miles or less.
Yeah.
This movie, there was
the picture car that was the convertible. That's what they call the focal point, that you see the most of. They had to have multiple of those because they don't usually make a picture car with one vehicle. So they had to have multiple of them. But what kind of car was it? To me, I hate to tell you, I thought it was a PT Cruiser. Was it? I mean, I don't know.
No, I forget what type of car it was. One of our chatters here is going to probably talk about it because they know this movie really well. Joe's Atmosphere is like, I wish I would have known you were doing this one, Janet. I love this flick.
Oh, I wish I tried to tell every one of our shows that we're going to have a group of people come together and watch the movie with us in Discord. We watch the movie every week in Discord before we go live. And
if Discord fails us, we'll just turn it on Restream and just watch it there.
Mm-hmm. But that's where everybody gathers to watch it. We had a few people in there today, and it was good. I'd never seen it before.
Here's something that I was banging my head against. You've got E.G. Daily in this movie, and she's not really, I don't really know who she is, but I know she played the fucking Dizzy on the Starship Troopers show, the Roughnecks. You have this girl in the movie. She has not changed at all since '84. She looks the same. Like, she's got that same blood Janet's got.
A little ditzy girl.
Yeah.
It was like a fan.
Yeah, she was a singer back in the day. She made her bones by being a singer. I remember Lace Around the Wound because my friend Dina had that in her fucking Cavalier.
Mhm.
So we would listen to crappy music in the 80s when you won't listen to Metallica. Oh, you gotta listen to real music. God, I hate
I was
fucking
going
real
to
music.
say, it looks like um, one of the Mac asked if he could see a picture of the couple pictures from the movie so he could see it because he says he hasn't seen it. I don't think he's seen it. He says he missed the 80s
Well,
neon or something.
the 80s were a magical period, and it's a shame because you have a lot of things going on in the 80s
Yeah.
that nowadays, if I try to explain this to you, you're just going to get offended because my casual racism is just going to come right the fuck out, and you're going to be like, "Oh my god, did you hear what Bruce said?" No, he was just talking like somebody who grew up in the fucking 80s. Like,
Mhm.
this is kind of like, look at all these people going to a movie.
The Valley Girl back then too. I didn't know.
You had Valley Girl, you had this, you had what's another iconic looking
She
film?
looked familiar, but I couldn't place her. I couldn't remember who she was, but I kept saying, I know her voice. I knew her voice. I could
One of
recognize
the actresses in this movie.
this girl.
Oh, E.G. Daily?
Yeah.
Shit. And of course, I start looking at photos, and you
Yes.
guys are
Look
still
at that.
staring at E.G. Daily.
Look at
My
this
bad.
real quick. Go back one to the movie theater.
Look at it. This is a venue where they have the music venue. Look at
Yeah.
all the costumes here.
Yeah. Look how many extras are in this. This right here proves to me the talent of just the wardrobe. Just wardrobe, all the costumes that they're wearing. And I went through and looked at some of these stills trying to find someone wearing regular tennis shoes, regular anything,
No,
that stood
no,
out.
they were immaculate. They didn't let people out there wearing Nikes or Reeboks or what was it, the high tops? Remember those when they first came out?
Boots, any of those things. These people were dressed dapper. They were all dapper wearing, clothes like they came right out of a magazine. It was phenomenal. The costume and the wardrobe and set people were phenomenal in this movie.
Here's my favorite part of the movie right here.
Hell out of town and leave these people alone.
I love that scene because throughout the entire film, Rick Moranis is playing this little shit. I mean,
you got what you wanted.
I got exactly what I wanted. That movie was that's a good movie. Like, thank you for giving me fan service, you faggot.
I just thought he was good.
He
played a good asshole.
Yeah,
How many other movies? In all the other movies I've seen him in, he's always like, what was it? The one about the plant that eats people. And then he was in Ghostbusters. And then he was in...
he was always a little nerdy guy in all the other films.
Yeah,
and he plays a little nerdy guy real well.
Yeah.
But when he plays a fucking mover and shaker, I don't buy it. I don't buy that shit at all.
I thought he did good, considering
I'm passing.
The script. The script was shit. There were so many drawn out, dragged out, boring parts. It was hard to stay in it. And the lead girl, the one that Diane Ladd, to me, she had a flat. She had no character arc. She was just boring. I just didn't like her. The one girl that came in, trying to remember her name again, the tomboy one.
Amy Madigan played the tomboy.
She had a very good character. I liked her character.
She didn't really have a character arc, but her character was fucking great.
Yeah, but she had a purpose in the movie.
Yeah, she was fucking
the
great.
Sidekick. The sidekick that could use a gun, that was intimidating. She didn't take no shit. I just liked her. And without her, and she was a good driver, for the to then get away. I mean, everything she seemed to add to the movie, it kept it from being, boring. Even when she went into the bar and that one guy came up to us, "Hey babe, what are you doing tonight?" And she was like, "Well, and she said some things, and then he said something about it. She said, "I like a guy, that's what was it? Exciting or something like that has confidence." That's what she said. And he said, "That's me." And she goes, "Well, good." And she had a big grin on her face. She seemed like she was enjoying herself. She had facial clues, that let you know that, hey, look at her. She's really having a good time. She looks like she's enjoying herself. She looks like she's angry, or she looked, whatever the part that she was playing, her facial expressions helped. Diane Lane's character was kind of this through the whole movie. Like, she reminded me, her acting ability reminded me of Melanie Griffith.
Melanie Griffith and Molly Ringwald, and
there's a few others that are like that. She was just dull.
She was very dull in this movie. I was very disappointed with Diane Lane, especially after watching her in The Outsiders, that she actually made you feel for her, even though she was a social, she was sympathetic in that movie. Yeah. She also played a young teenager in high school really well in that film. But in this movie, I couldn't buy it. Catherine Mary Stewart plays Alice in the movie Alice. It's a fucking fever dream by Canon Films. I've seen the trailer a few times. We're going to watch it, Sam.
Yeah.
How you been, man? But I got to say that the stills and the production from what I've seen of Alice, Catherine Mary Stewart plays a much better young 20-something than Diane Lane. And Diane Lane in this movie fell flat. There's a lot of this movie falls flat with me. I got to give this movie high props for the set design. The soundtrack is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. The music is good.
The music is good. Mac is wanting to know about the trailer for this movie. Fuck it,
But it wasn't just the cars and stuff either. The sets were good. The vehicles were good. The costumes were good. I mean, everything about this movie was good, except that it was a little slow in areas. It was the script. The story just didn't have you rooting for everyone. You know what I mean? You were like, who cares? You know what I mean? You had that no care attitude simply because the script didn't give you what you needed to put your teeth into it, except for you. The one part where you said you wanted to see Rick Moranis get his lights punched out, basically. And then to me, at the very end, when they had the sledgehammer fight, if you can bring that part up too, I mean, you don't have to play the sound, but there's just no way. You're not going to have two guys that have.
This movie looks so fucking good.
This big around.
This trailer looks
hammer over their head that long. It's just not going to happen. They're just not built to do that. They probably couldn't lift their arms. If those were real sledgehammers that they were swinging around, they were hurting.
I'm going to disagree with you. I'm going to disagree with you because 4 times a week, I got to pull out a 7-pound or 8-pound sledge. It's 8-pound actually, but I got to pull one of those out.
Wade.
What?
I want you to pull a picture up and let the chat tell us how much they think those sledgehammers, the size of them.
The size of these sledgehammers that are used in this film are probably 12-pound sledge.
Pounds.
12. I'm willing to bet 12.
That's what they look like. And there was just no way that you're going to have them swing in all those swings and still being able to, unless they're so pumped with adrenaline or something, but they didn't look like it and they didn't act like they were, pumped up and ready to kick ass. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it just, to me, I just was some of the stuff like what you're getting to see in this set.
So these guys are beating each other up with sledgehammers.
And it doesn't break their arm. It doesn't break their bones or anything. I mean,
they're not hitting each other with it. They're just smashing the shaft.
Watch, he hits him in the back.
In the back with the flat of the hammer, and it's a push, not a shove.
Yeah, the weight behind it.
This is a poorly choreographed fight, and this is Walter Hill biting off more than he can chew. That's what this is. And I like Walter Hill. He also directed one of the greatest fucking movies of all time, The Warriors, which this movie feels like a sequel to. But instead of me getting a sequel to The Warriors, I get like some edging version of the West 57th or some Broadway play about greasers and all that. And I wanted to love this movie. Look at all that money. Look at all that fucking motorcycles getting knocked over.
That's what I'm saying.
This looks great until the fucking fight starts. and now they're slugging each other. That's okay for
You got to
1980.
remember too. See how he had a cut on his face and his blood
Yes.
coming down, and
Yes.
then a couple spots afterward that he doesn't have blood, and then he has blood again. So there was a couple of mistakes here and there throughout the scene as you're watching it. And
they don't get the cuts
bloody,
right.
and then it's not, back and forth. So the editing did make a few mistakes
Yeah,
together.
and that's okay. But the majority,
It's longer because they have to stop and add the boo-boos to put together to edit to make it look like the impact caused a cut, all those different things. It's normal.
this was supposed to be an R-rated movie.
Yeah, but look, we have 5 or 6, maybe 10 cops. That's it. That shows up, but they know there's going to be this huge gang thing. They don't have
No,
SWAT
there's more than 5 or 6 cops. There's like 12 that are
they
out.
don't have SWAT there. They don't have the big shields. They don't have anything to protect themselves from gang violence. After
This is not the world we live in, Janet. This is another time, another place.
Too many bad, and that's all to do with the script. They didn't give them the dialogue or the information they needed to work off of. You see what I mean? They had to improvise a lot, which was, some actors are really good at improvising, but others are not. They just go strictly on what they read or what they're supposed to know or say, and it's dull. But the music's good, the sets are good, it's fun in the areas that actually have things going on. But there's a lot of dull scenes in this movie simply because there's no story. You know what I mean? There's nothing to add to it.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanted to love the sister for more because she was such a good sister. She tried to be there for her brother, to get him to fall in love again with this ex-girlfriend, all these kind of things. But there was no love for her. She just had a flatline character, and that's sad. And that's all to do because the script was just a bad script. At least that's my point of view of it.
I'm just going to say, in defense of the mallet swinging, I do this probably 4 times a week where I have to batter open a manhole cover, and I don't really hurt at first. Now, when I first started having to use a mallet,
how big are your arms and shoulders?
What?
How big are your arms and shoulders?
I'm considered beefy.
Okay, you got meat on you. You got something to pick it up and swing it. I'm telling you, I work out. Okay, I'm not a skinny stick girl. Okay, I have meat on me, and I work out. But I could go out and swing an axe or a sledgehammer or hammer, cut some stuff or whatever, and I might be all right. But if I did it in a fight and anger, and you're supposed to be filled with adrenaline, and you're swinging and swinging and swinging, you're going to be hurting. I'm just saying. To me, it would have been way more authentic if they'd had bats like Lucille with nails in it or something like that they were going to fight with. For this type of scene, I just thought it would have been a better.
I wanted it to be a great movie. This movie still it's got some really good parts to it. There's a lot of good pieces in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
I like the sets. I like the cars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a real big fan of just how everything looks so iconically different, like from when they go from one side of town to the other.
Mm-hmm.
You can definitely tell where they're at. You can definitely tell there's been a transition change. It's not like some movies, like as much as I love Dark City does everything it can to make the city always feels like the same horrible, miserable city. Yeah. And
Defoe and
yeah, it was Defoe and Michael Pare. The problem with and those guys swinging those hammers, you keep in mind, Michael Defoe might weigh 140 pounds. Michael Pare might weigh 170. I'm 90 pounds over Michael Pare. I'm a 260-pound fat fuck. So, I mean, there's a reason why I can heft a mallet. And I also don't swing a 10-pound or 12-pound sledge. I have a 6 and an 8-pound. And depending on what I got to do,
okay.
What?
You do it regularly, and now
and it's on a regular basis.
Michael's job in this show was to go out, and he was a construction worker, or he worked on building skyscrapers, things like that. You'd have a little more thought that maybe he could do that, right? Mm-hmm. But William Defoe says, I have something better in mind when he wants to pull out his favorite fighting tools or whatever. I don't know. It just,
I don't believe he'd ever fought with those before.
that's what
I
they would fight with. It just
I
seems
I
stupid.
just that scene right there kind of was a nail in the coffin for me. But there's other parts of the movie that look really good. Anytime they're on the motorbikes and riding around, that looks great.
The crashes, the car explosions, the
Yes,
fires, all those things were really good. You could tell that they had good pyrotechnic people. They just had a lot of good stunt people. They had the dancer at the beginning, like I said, you could tell that she knew what she was doing. She was a damn good dancer, and what she was doing
that
freaking
was
hard.
the same girl that helped out Michelle Beals from Flashdance.
Flashdance, but you could
And
tell she was good. So they put money into it, and you could tell that. It's just that I just wish they'd put a little more money into the screenwriting. It would have been 10 times better. I know it would have. With the actors they had good actors. I enjoyed the actors. I thought they were good considering what they had, in their script to read and to portray for us to watch them. But trying to be honest. But let me see. I had some notes here. I'm going to pull up.
while you're doing that, I'm going to pull up just something that I wanted to say that I really like this movie to talk about. This is not a movie I enjoy watching because the script, some of the dialogue is kind of hokey. But Michael Pare, he's talking about like he has issues with Rick Moranis. Rick Moranis drove me out of my mind. Then there's this whole wave of insult comedy. In the real world, if somebody insults you a couple of times, you can smack him or punch him. You can't do that on a movie set. And these comedians walk around and they can say whatever they want. I'm just not handy with that. Comedians are a special breed. They can antagonize you and say whatever they want, and you can't do anything to stop them. And he's this weird little guy who couldn't get laid in a whorehouse with a fistful of 50s, and he would imitate me. And the first thing he says to me is, do you just act cool, or are you really cool? And this is the first sentence out of his mouth to me in Joel Silver's office. And I was like, oh, this is not going to go well. But he was one of Joel Silver's dear friends, and he ended up making a bunch of movies for Disney. I just wasn't that sharp. I wasn't ready for that kind of crap. That kind of, when I'm watching this movie, that's one of the reasons why I can't stand Rick Moranis, because to me, he doesn't fit within the world. Because in this world, you got jackasses like fucking.
He's not in the world anymore. That's what I was trying to say. He's left that world.
He's right there. Bullshit. He's standing in that world. He's standing right fucking there. Him acting like a little gooch like that. He's gonna get kicked in the clam.
Well, he's only there temporarily because he's trying to get this concert and stuff out of the way, and she gets kidnapped. So now he's stuck there, but he didn't want to be there. See, that's what I'm trying to say. He'd already risen out and was out of this area, out of this neighborhood, and this, with these people. And he didn't want to be there. That's one reason why he had a chip on his shoulders, because he didn't want to be there anymore.
I get it.
He wants to be there.
I get it. Whenever I was in Illinois, I was a lot skinnier. I didn't have any beef on my shoulders or arms. I couldn't swing a sledge. And here I am, fucking 15 years later, 50-year-old man, beating up metal and prying things open. And I'm starting to get that definition of old man strength going on. By the way, kids, if you have not seen the movie Sisu yet, get your Tubi account, and after this episode, go watch Sisu. You'll thank me later. Oh, Janet, you sweet, special soul.
Who is it? What is Sisu?
Sisu, okay, first off, it's not a movie with anybody you know. It was made for $4 million in Finland. Okay. Secondly, the word Sisu does not translate.
Like beavers.
Will you listen to me, please?
Oh, sorry.
This movie has a title that does not translate to other worlds, other cultures very well at all. Sisu is that level of determination and fierce, utter desire to survive and triumph after you've been beaten by the world around you and you have the capacity to draw breath and you're like, this is not your fucking day. and that is the entire movie. Sisu is a amazing film that was shot for very little money. It's got a sequel coming out and mass release by Sony Pictures next week.
Mm-hmm.
This week. Fuck. So if you will if you enjoy John Wick, if you don't mind movies that exemplify old man strength, holy ballsack, Sisu Part 2 is coming in theaters. And this time he's not going against the Jerrys, he's going against the Ruskies.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll shut up now about that. But y'all, like this movie that we watched, I enjoyed watching this.
I did too.
But the movie's got problems. And like more on Michael Pere. He says Michael Pere does not always work well with Hill. This is just off of Wikipedia. But you guys might not know this. I think Walter's a writer at heart. Writers aren't always good at communicating in person. He's also a tough son of a bitch. He's like a cowboy. His director's chair is made out of leather, and on the back of it, it read Lone Wolf. And he used to frequent gun clubs, and he wasn't a very delicate man. We're doing a love scene. When they said, we need to loop the love scene, I really freaked out. I'd never done a love scene before, and I really needed to help get through it. I panicked. Joel Silver called Walter and somehow persuades him to come over and direct me through the ADR. Streets of Fire was a big picture for me, and I was overwhelmed. And I think that bothered Walter. And I think he thought that I was a needy guy. He was used to working with actors that had experience, like Nick Nolte or David Carradine. And I always wondered why Walter has never wanted to work with me again. I think he was too much of a gentleman to tell me that I was too needy at the time. I liked Michael Pere in the Philadelphia Experiment. But then we discovered that Michael Pere, when he got this movie, he scheduled a limo to drive him to and fro for filming from his house to the set. He's not that good of an actor. And I came to this conclusion about an hour ago. I want to like the guy. He's in some movies that are good popcorn movies.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like I could have used a Dalton in this film. I could have used Pat Swayze. That would have probably saved a little bit of the movie for me. It really hurts to think that Michael Pere, not the guy that I want him to be. He plays a good sailor in the Philadelphia Experiment. Yeah, there's a new Sisu film coming out this week. It's going to be fucking amazing. A lot of you guys are watching this video, watching us live. Put your comments for your review in the chat. If I'm wrong, go ahead and bust my chops. I'm okay with it. I got big shoulders.
I wanted to add something about the costume department and stuff and makeup. Had any of you guys seen the Planet of the Apes? All the different Planet of the Apes movies.
Which Planet of the Apes are you talking about?
Well, the originals and then the newest one that had.
Well, wait, which newest one? Because there's two sets of newest
the first
ones.
One that had the guy from Rob Roy in it. That played the Evil Ape.
Hold on.
He played the lead.
What year are we talking? Because there's been.
I don't remember. I'll have to look up the name.
Oh, Janet, just work with me here because Mark Wahlberg was in a Planet of the Apes.
That one. That one sucked.
It was bad.
The one that had the guy from Rob Roy that was won Academy Award for the bad guy. The Pierre guy or whatever. The one that.
Okay,
that actor. I can't remember what his name is. Sorry.
It's okay. Are you talking Roddy McDowall?
No.
Not Franco.
Mm-mm.
Andy
He played the
Serkis?
lead ape. Not the gorilla. I think he was a chimpanzee.
Are you talking about War for Planet of the Apes?
I don't remember which one. It was one of the first ones. I thought it was the first one of the new ones because you had the old ones with Charlton Heston. Then you had a new one that came out.
One with Helena Bonham Carter and Mark Wahlberg in 2001 that for some odd reason it was made, and I don't know why.
Okay, hold on.
I never know why.
I'll have to look up Rob Roy because he starred in Rob Roy and then go from there. Just give me a minute.
Because the one I'm thinking of, Tim Roth.
Yes, Tim Roth. That's him.
Okay.
All right, the one with him in it. Okay. The costume department, when they put the people in the cages and stuff, made sure that the people had dirt under their fingernails and stuff. That's the detail they went through to make the wardrobes fit the environment. You know what I mean? That kind of detail. And they didn't have perfectly nice nails that were clean. They were
Okay.
dirty. Their hair was
You're
not.
talking about the bad one with Mark Wahlberg.
It was with Mark Wahlberg in that one?
Yeah.
The Tim Roth was okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't even remember him being in it. I was just thinking about the work the wardrobe had went through. Even in the original one, the girls' nails were pretty, you know, and stuff like that. So that I wasn't trying to use it. But in this movie, the actress that played the tomboy character, the one that was working on a driver for him and stuff, and she was in the military and all that, that actress, her
Amy Madigan.
fingernails were dirty. She had dirty hands. Her hands were dirty and stuff when she was smoking her cigarettes and stuff. You could tell she was a person that could change tires on cars. She was not a feminine woman. She was a woman, but she wasn't one of the ones that worried about her looks and stuff all the time.
This scene right here got me so pissed off
Why?
because that's Charlton Heston.
Yeah. I thought
And
it was
he's just reversing the role, reversing the fucking dialogue he had from the first Planet of the Apes movie.
yeah.
And he did all that, and it just felt like a slap in the dick. Not even a kind slap in the face, a slap in the dick.
Actor portraying an iconic character, and he kicked ass doing it.
No, I hated this scene.
No, I didn't.
I was so happy when he died because of all the shit he said. Not in real life. When his character
No, I
died in
know.
this movie, I was so happy
Right.
because he fucking just spewed the entire dialogue he said from a different perspective, from a 1975 excellent movie into
I
this
think
pile of shit.
The fact that they got to put him in the movie and let him play a character in a movie that he made famous, I think was phenomenal.
Nah, this movie is a tragedy. We're gonna pile this one right next to Shallow Hal.
Well, great. You're taking all my movies. You watch all your B-rate stuff, and you're not going to let me watch iconic movies.
We watched fucking Streets of Fire. There is no more iconic 80s
I
movie.
collect characters like this because I'm a nerd, and you're not going to let me. You're not going to let me talk about them.
Yeah, Tim Roth played the general in this movie. He actually had a good role. The apes in this movie are fucking amazing, but you've got Estella Warren in this movie, and like she fell off. Like she was in 3 movies in the early 80s or early 2000s, and those movies are Planet of the Apes, Driven, and then she was in Kangaroo Jack. And for those of you that gave a shit, she was in a 2010 version of Beauty and the Beast that rates as a 3.1 on IMDb. Estella Warren fell the fuck off. She is barely visible, hasn't done a movie since 2019, and there's a reason for it. She's a terrible actress. She used to be a fucking swimmer. She does a swimming scene in Driven. That's the best it'll ever get for her. Other than that, bear kids. That's all you can do, honey. And I hate to be such a caustic dick about it, but she is a terrible actress. And she's in this movie, and she kind of ruined it. So, I mean, I'm not really upset about the fact that, like, I'll watch any other Planet of the Apes movie. But
I've watched all the movies I've seen for different reasons because I love Planet of the Apes. You know, I love the story, and to see it in different ways to me is entertainment. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be entertaining. And I love Tim Roth. I thought Tim Roth was kick ass in that movie. I really thought he did a good job. I love Charlton Heston in all the movies that my mother.
The Charlton Heston part and Estella Warren kind of ruined that movie. That's the worst Planet of the Apes movie. Is it a bad movie? It's about as bad of a movie as what we just watched.
I thought they were way better. than this
I
movie.
I like
Movie had lots of good parts. I mean, the one scene, the biker scene when the bikers all pulled up, that was really good. The switchblade scene, I really loved at the very beginning. When he
yeah,
took the switchblade and
that
he beat
was
the shit out of the guy and he closed it. He took it from him and closed it back up and said, "Do it again." It was a phenomenal scene. It's just sad that the whole movie wasn't like that because it could have been that good through the whole thing if it had a decent script. Because
well,
it had good actors, it had perfect sets, it had great costumes, it had good stunt people, the fire scenes, explosions, all that stuff was all great. It's just that it was so much time in between the good stuff, and it was because the script wasn't very good. That's what I'm
that
blaming
if
it
you
for.
guys like these
No, no,
movies, if you like this film, let us know. Um, Mac Thompson says, "Nah, this was a fun flick. I enjoyed
Yeah,
it." Well, that's cool. I could,
I do too.
I don't have to watch this movie over again, but I'm going to tell you that I would probably, if I had a venue or if I had a place with a big TV screen and I was serving drinks,
Mhm.
this is a movie that I could put in the background and it would be on a television and it would look pretty cool to see this on a big screen. I think that is where this movie specifies its place in movie history because of the iconic looks it has. I don't think the script is worthwhile, so I would have it on mute. But I would definitely want to have at least up to the hammer fight. I'd love to have that being shown on a big screen. The hammer fight, probably from there on, like the movie really just kind of tanks for me because there's parts of the film that I wanted to see different. E.G. Daily, her biggest complaint about this movie being part of it is that she's watching Diane Ladd lip sync throughout the entire film when she's a singer. She's a singer. She's a fucking singer. She can belt a tune out. She's a
Mhm.
very talented voice actress. She
Because they
looks the
could have
same.
gotten just like now when Michael was in the other movie that I loved, Eddie
Okay.
and the Cruisers. When he was up there singing, you could see the muscles in his throat and everything. It looked like he was really singing. He did
Yeah.
a good job portraying a singer on stage. She was dull. I mean, she just didn't look energetic. She just didn't look like a singer. I watched a bunch of different videos to get ready to do a music videos. When I did my police, I did a thing for the the midnight circus type thing, late night circus for my other channel,
Mhm.
and I did that and I watched videos and I try to find fun videos that fit whatever I'm gonna do that night. And I watched many ones of Pat Benatar, getting ready to do my Pat Benatar one that I did, and I'm telling you, it's just sad to see someone that can't get up there and practice and act like and really sing. All she had to do was really sing the songs, okay, and then they just dub it anyways. So her singing would have been more realistic than her pretending to even have words come out of her mouth. I
Well,
don't know. It just was not. It just wasn't very good. It wasn't a believable part. And to me, she was the only bad actor in this movie. The rest of the actors, even though the script wasn't very good, the story wasn't good. They tried to portray their characters, and they did a great job because there was many great scenes, like the switchblade scene, the one where the guy goes and punches Rick Moranis. That actor, he did a phenomenal job as his
anything,
hand
anything.
man for the gang, all that stuff.
Yeah, I enjoyed a lot of this movie. I just wanted it to be better than what it was. I was expecting a lot more. This is also about the same time frame that I used to watch Space Hunter Adventures in Forbidden Zone, and I thought that was
I
a
saw
very
that one.
good. What?
I saw that one with you.
Yeah, and I used to think that was a great movie, but I watch it nowadays and I'm like, eh. So I'm not the greatest movie critic in the world, especially when I was younger. I thought that was a quality film, and it
Mhm.
had a lot of really cool parts to it. Like it had the fucking locomotive scene at the start of the movie where they're having a battle by the train tracks in that industrial zone, and you're like, oh my god, they have a lot of money for this. And then the movie just kind of putters along after that at like half speed, and it's not the movie that I thought it would be as a 50-year-old man. I
Mhm.
I enjoy Space Hunter, but I recognize it as of its time. It was a lot more impressive in 1986 or in 87 and 88 when I was watching it on repeat because there was not a lot else to watch. The other things that we had available, I'd already seen every episode of the original series Star Trek. I already watched as much of the Next Generation that I'd seen yet.
Yeah.
Betamax. Okay, we tape recorded everything that came across the TV. So I really enjoyed growing up in the 80s. I really enjoyed the life my parents gave me and enjoyed those opportunities I had to watch great media. And I thought this was great media at the time. Michael Perry was a chef at one point. And so him grabbing the switchblade was kind of just him displaying his muscle memory. And I think if he had done a few more parlor tricks like that, if he'd done more camera tricks or in-camera tricks like that, and just let his characters' body language and eyes do more acting than what came out of his mouth, because sometimes he's not the most convincing speaker. To me, he's not in today's age.
The thing is, you gotta remember,
he would have been better off, and he would have been a lot better as a strong silent type in this movie.
well, you got to remember, acting is reacting. Okay.
Mhm.
So when one actor speaks to the other, they react to each other, and that's acting. You know, they're pretending and they're being in some situation, an earthquake, a plane crash, or a romantic, a toward love affair, or whatever it is. You're reacting to each other, and you come across to the people watching and put the story together, and we react to whatever it is we're watching.
Yeah.
So if you have no story, if your story is like putting along, it's kind of hard for an actor to pull everything out of their ass. You know, they can't just, just try to go through the movie and add things and ad lib through the whole thing. It's just not going to be good. And then when you can't edit everything out, all the dull stuff, because then you don't have not even a 60-minute movie. So I can see why we have some movies that are just boring. You just have a lot of boring areas because they didn't put anything in it. If they had let someone else sit down and read the script and say, well, we can add this or add that. Once they knew the characters, like I said, they could have added something where Michael and his sister talk about their parents and, how she got the house, or, I don't know, just something to add a little more dialogue to make the movie have a better pace, but chose not to. Just like I read earlier about Jim Steinman saying that he even thought the script was boring. It was a bad script, but they said, nah, don't worry about it. We had enough visuals, all that stuff. We're going to push that. And that's what they did. And it hurt them at the box office. They barely made $8 million at the box office. And it's because people weren't telling other people to go see it. It started making money later as a cult movie because people that saw it and loved MTV would go back and see it over and over again. And I saw tons of stuff that reminded me of MTV. I mean, right off the bat, I said, this looks like I was watching one of the videos on MTV, during the thing. It was a theatrical giant MTV video to me. But and it had that. It definitely has an 80s feel. And I could see why a lot of people still love this movie. And it's still good. I just wish I'd seen it, years and years ago to have the same love for it as so many other people. But you can't help that if you didn't get to see it. I watched it so I could tell other people what I felt of it. And I saw so much potential lost simply because for whatever reason, the writers just didn't want to take out anything or change what they felt was a good story, even though this one guy, this Jim Steinman guy, said this is a terrible script. And they said, we don't care. The visuals
the part where Joel Silver says, I don't care if it's got a bad script.
Yeah.
But that right there said everything to me. Hey Travis, 1975, how you been, man? I'm gonna showcase the 5th through the 8th characters on the billing from IMDb.
Yeah.
William Dafoe plays the antagonist. Deborah Van Valkenburg is the sister. Rich Lawson is Ed Price. He plays a cop, and so does Rick Rossovich.
Hmm.
Rick can't fight with a shit. I like the guy. I think he's a good actor. I don't think he's good kinetically, but he was good in Top Gun, and he was okay in the Terminator. I
Yeah,
mean,
the other guy, the other cop, I thought he was great.
this guy here,
Yeah, he did a phenomenal job for
Yeah.
his portrayal of the police officer. And for a little bit there, a couple of times, the way he approached Michael's character in the movie, I thought he had a thing for the sister or something. So even they could have added a romance.
a little bit of a love romance, or at least like an appreciable look, and maybe her nodding at him, like, "Go ahead, you can tap the back end."
I thought it would have been great. But
Yeah.
see, there was so much potential they could have added to make it flow a little better and not be so dull, and to make it a more of a dramatic, romance. Because there, to me, Diane Ladd's, she just, the only good scene that I saw that she was in was this lovemaking scene when they were out in the street and she ran after him and he grabs her and he kisses her and they're drenched, they're just soaked.
I mean, that right there, I
Yeah,
wanted to like
it's
that
so
scene more than what I thought, because
good.
Walter Hill loves to kiss in the rain. He loves that shit.
loved
Neon lights,
Mhm.
nice cars, great motorcycles, and hot guy and a hot girl kissing in the rain.
Yeah.
Living the American dream, or showcasing what you can have if you're 13. If you just lift weights, drink milk, and say your prayers at night with your vitamins.
Yeah.
You can have a hot lady like Diane Lane. You can be Michael Pere with the bad hair and the suspenders. But if not, you could always wear your waders like William Defoe and kind of look like one of those.
Okay, I want to ask you a question.
Go
Did
ahead.
you actually think he didn't look weird wearing what he was wearing?
Okay, I recognize that this movie was made in '84. Nothing I say is going to matter. Okay. That said, that was the era of Velcro and parachute pants. And I don't know if you heard me
Those
say
were
that
parachute
before.
pants, though. Those were,
Those were waders.
yeah, they look like waders. They look like they were vinyl. There were straps that went over his shoulder, and he's wearing no shirt, and not a single person besides him was wearing anything like that.
He looked ridiculous, yes. But are we going to tell Willem Dafoe that? Not in the least bit. He played Barnes 2 years later.
If I get to ever meet him in person, I will put on some waders and have him fixed all the way up to here with just that, and go see him at Comic-Con or whatever and get him to autograph it for me in silver letters. I would do that in a heartbeat if he would sign it. I mean, that would be cool, because I can't help it now. I've never thought I'd ever see him wear something like that. Even him wearing a dress and getting punched out and having that wig come off and him wearing that net and stuff under there wasn't near as bad as the picture I have in my head now. Seeing him run around with those waders on, I don't know why. I hated it. I hated that.
In the chat, if you think it's a fashion crime for William Dafoe to have to wear waders for Labor Day.
Well, I'm sure.
I'm just saying, like, if I ever write you a script, your boy is gonna have waders and a hairy chest, and you're gonna wear
a hairy chest. I mean,
you're gonna have like a fishnet shirt and maybe some leather pants. There we go. Good days. That scene could have been a bit more smooth. Michael Pere reminded me of my goldfish I had as a kid. Yeah, like he didn't. When I noticed that he didn't look like he knew how to kiss a chick on screen. He didn't get it, and he's getting
they kind of fumbled a little bit. That's what made it more romantic to me, because now if they were a new couple, they had just met, and it starts pouring down rain, and they start to make out, and they're fumbling with each other. You know what I mean? I don't know how to explain any different than that, but to me, that's kind of romantic.
First kisses are supposed to be awkward, and
it wasn't their first kiss. Remember, they had a hot toward romance before that.
He's a great actor. He's a
from the story.
Great actor. I mean,
I know he is a kick-ass actor, but I just never thought I'd ever see him wear something like that.
Some of you guys are too young, and others are not even born at this time. I gotta find the photos of this so I can be backed up. Because if not, you're going to think I'm making this shit up.
I don't know what you're gonna
No,
tell.
no. Keep talking, Janet. I have something terrible to bring up, but I
Well,
need you to.
anybody would like to give us their rating in the chat, we'd like to see if you've seen this movie, what would you rate it? What would be the rating you'd give it? And I do, so many out of 10 stars like that. That's how I rate. But you guys can rate it any way you want. But and I'll give mine at the end before we're done. But I really enjoyed the movie. I laughed a lot because I couldn't stop laughing when I saw. At first, I thought it was a prank or something, or I didn't know what was going on when I first saw him walk through the group of all these badass bikers wearing those waders. I mean, that's what I said. I go, he's wearing waders. It just I don't know. It was weird for me, but can't help that it just was not good for me to see him wearing that. But he seemed like he had a good time on set.
I think he did. Okay,
They all looked like they had a good time.
So I'm going to show you guys something, and
God.
I just want you to understand. No, Mac, you're not older than us both. Back in the day, they used to sell inflatable clothing.
Holy moly! No way!
Inflatable clothing. This is from
I don't remember seeing anyone wear that.
And you would have to air up your shorts before you go out. Can
For
you
what?
imagine this?
But what were they? Why were they blow-up clothes? What were they for? For you to go swimming in?
For you to go out in.
I know, but go out where?
Wherever you're going.
They were like futuristic. Holy shit! You got to be kidding.
Not in the least bit.
They're sauna shorts. Okay, they're supposed to help you sweat.
But you're supposed to. No, you were able to go out and just able to do this. Women's inflatable pants.
No way! I would never wear that shit.
Okay.
That's why no one's bought this stuff. Unless you're making a goofy costume, no one would wear that. No one. That's normal.
You didn't say it was normal.
Holy shit! That is Gumby pants. That's what it looks like. It's terrible.
Look at this shit. This is what
Now,
your parents wore, kids.
Nah.
You want to know why your sister's ugly? This is it.
Why? Why would that make your sister ugly?
Would you really spend the time shaving your legs if your husband was going to wear his inflatable jorts? Just think about it.
Go in public with him. He's wearing that.
I remember those. I never saw anybody wear those except on television.
I never saw.
You got 7 years on me, but it's okay, dude.
I've never seen that. I've never seen anything like it.
Okay, Janet, we live in the middle of the States. You know what never comes here? Fashion. What came here in 1980?
I was in New Orleans for many, many years, and I never saw anything like that in New Orleans.
We live on the edge of the States. We're not in New York. We're not in LA. We get the shit last.
Oh, well, I'm glad. I wouldn't wear it. Now, I might have to look them up if I need a costume or something. But I don't think I'd wear plastic pants like that. I mean, I've worn vinyl, stuff like that, and leather, but not blow-up pants. It's terrible.
I'm just saying that we had horrible design.
Now, if they had some blow-up hands that I can like make a bra that would hold me like that and have little blow-up hands, then I might wear that. But I'm not wearing pants like those. No way. Oh yeah, I remember those pants. Those are like jogging pants, right?
Dude, I don't know what you use these for. I would touch those with my skin, and I would just start to sweat. I'm a swarthy man. Don't do that to me.
Parachute pants. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember seeing some people wear those, but most of my friends wore blue jeans because we didn't have a lot of money. We We rode horses.
Two gangs, the rafters and the tubers, go at it. We'll say the whole scene, but you only need the
That's
edge.
hilarious. I never seen anything like it. I've never seen anything like that. That's like wearing Michelin Man pants.
So I don't know if we're going to be streaming a movie on the 30th or not. Next week is a nix, but I think if I stream on the 30th, then we've got most everything taken care of. I'm moving.
Yeah, I won't be doing anything next week. I'm going to be out of town.
You're out of town. You're going to a cowboy chic wedding, which is the gayest shit I've ever heard in my life.
I've never heard of such a thing in my life, but
They're gonna look. It's gonna be nothing but fucking.
cowboy chic. I never heard of such a thing, but whatever. You know, it's there.
It's gonna be Brokeback Mountain.
Or it's a man and woman that's getting married.
The next movie we're watching. Some of you are familiar with this movie. Some of you are not. It's a Dan Fogel classic. It's called Fanboys.
I've never seen it.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Who's in it?
Dan Fogel?
Okay. Isn't he a singer?
No.
Oh. I thought Dan Fogelberg or whatever was a singer.
All right. Hold on. We're gonna break TOS again. Fuck you, YouTube. Fucking communist piece of shit.
These are the most secure buildings on Earth. The White House, the Pentagon,
I love this movie.
the
Never seen it.
Kremlin, and George Lucas's
Happy to bring it
Skywalker.
to
Oh,
you.
this one. I remember the trailer for this. Okay. We're gonna break
It
into
started
town.
as the ultimate heist.
Linus laid the
I
whole
love this
thing out in
movie.
5th grade. What's your game plan? We storm the ranch.
Okay, Gen X. We all wanted to do this back in the 2000s. All of us wanted to do this shit. We all wanted to fucking sneak our way into Skywalker Ranch and go see what was going to be going on next because we got upset about a certain movie. We forgot about the holiday special, but
Or we die trying. This is a suicide mission.
It will
it's a
become
great fucking
the
movie.
ultimate road trip.
Strap in, fellas.
It may be crazy. It may be dangerous.
So good.
Harry Knowles.
Which one of you's Windows?
I'm Windows. Nice to meet you. Harry Knowles is kicking Windows in.
But if you make
Early
the right
internet
connections,
celebrities.
It's all there. Maps, passcodes.
How did you score all this stuff?
Windows was the
Are you
name.
kidding? I'm William Shatner. I can score anything.
the possibilities
want to take
Say again,
The only
Janet.
Windows I remember is the one in that movie we reviewed.
The Thing.
Yeah, The Thing. Windows, the computer genius guy. Okay.
No, he was not a computer genius guy, and it was funny. You had Windows and Mac in the same movie.
Oh, that's right.
shirt off.
As you wish.
Warm.
Dutch private convoy. Dude, get out of here. It's not a good time. The force is strong with me here.
are endless.
Somebody tell me what the damn
You're
red button's
funny
for.
and lame.
Lightspeed, kid. Lightspeed. Yeah. Punch it!
It's such a silly homage to a wonderful
Featuring
fucking-
Princess Leia, Lando Calrissian, Darth Maul,
Oh,
Shooter
they
McGavin,
have-
the
they
warehouse
have-
guy from The Office, the guy from Tropic Thunder, Jay, the guy from Die Hard 4, the hot chick from Sin City, and Captain James T. Kirk.
Friend of yours?
Fanboys.
That looks like a fun movie.
I have a bad feeling about this.
You guys don't think that we are in George Lucas's trash
The
room?
walls are not going to close in on us.
So 2 weeks from now, we'll have a watch party. We'll watch this movie together.
Okay,
One of
but
my-
are they
one of
all comedians, the actors that they have in this?
I have no idea if they're all comedians. I just know that the movies that the projects those guys were involved in back at the time kind of led them to this dream project where they were able to actually make a very good movie.
Mhm.
And you're going to watch it for the first time in your life, and you're going to be thankful because Bruce actually can occasionally swing for the fences and knock a homer. But you're going to enjoy that. It's got some great parts to it. I don't remember if I ever really was critically upset about anything. I think what made me just upset was that we had that movie come out, and then like the sequels came, and the Disney purchase came, and all the things that could have been great just got pissed in the wind. And like after that, you're just watching fat blue hairs spunk off on your favorite fucking franchise you grew up with. And you look at all your Kenner toys and all the things that you have hours of great memories with, and all the times you had an idea of that would be better than what happened in the movies because you have a planet full of Wookiees. Your mom bought you 20 Chewbacca's, and you had a fucking.
I love the Wookiees, so I'm not gonna say anything. So.
No. I hated the Ewoks. I fucking have hated the Ewoks since.
I love the Ewoks too. I liked all of them.
No,
I liked all the little,
absolutely not.
Especially at the bars. You know, I liked all the creatures they had. I just thought it was great.
I wanted to
The
like
imagination of the writer coming up with all these unique characters and stuff. I mean, that is
this right here. This right here is the entire feeling I have. Fanboys was the last huzzah for Star Wars. Either Fanboys or Robot Chicken. The three episodes, which I thought were fucking great.
Mm-hmm. This looks like a fun one. I'm excited. Everybody in the chat, remember that if you want to watch this, when is it? What's the date? Do you know 30th. The date yet?
The 30th.
The 30th. If you want to put it on your calendar, write it down. If you want to watch this movie, you just got to send Bruce or me a message, a DM, and say, "Hey, I want to watch this movie with you guys," because it's usually 12:30 in Discord, and we sit and we watch the movie, and then we talk about it a little bit before we go live. So, yeah, I have to get dressed up before we start the movie, so I have to sit and watch the movie. But it's fun.
Times for cowboys, or what's worse, gays and yuppies playing dress up for the weekend.
Yeah.
Everybody, have a great 2 weeks. If I don't see you the 30th, I'll let you know. I'll put it on my Twitter and have Janet belt it out there. But the next movie we review is going to be Fanboys, which is a movie that I feel kind of bad that she hasn't seen yet. I think it's one of the better Star Wars licensee or fan films that came out. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Janet, do you have anything to add before we close her up? Oh shit! And let me give my right rating.
Oh,
I'm giving this movie a 68. It's not enough for a 69.
Well, I'm giving it a better score than that. I'm giving it a 78 out of 100. Because the only thing wrong with this movie was the script. Everything else, I thought there was some little things here and there, continuity issues and things like that. But the music was good. The casting was good. The costumes were excellent. The sets were phenomenal. The cars, everything about this movie was good. The sad thing is the fact that they didn't have more of a story to go with to make it even better. This could have been a blockbuster movie. I really do believe that. It could have been. It had so much potential that was taken from it simply because the director is the one that wrote it, one of the writers. And usually when that happens, they have a tunnel vision, just like in the movie Powder. Remember? You have a director that sees their vision and doesn't care what anyone else tells them about it. They just want to make it. They just want that to come to life, and they don't listen to anyone else. And sometimes it really can hurt a movie. It's good when you have a lot of people that want to work together and make it, a very big success. And usually when that happens, you do end up having a blockbuster smash because you have so many good people working together to accomplish something. And it's sad that the director just said, sorry, because it paid for it. And they didn't make money. They didn't make the money at the box office like they should have, simply because they didn't want to take someone else's idea and put it into the screenplay.
And that really, really hurts in the long run because this movie could have had a much better legend. It could have made a sequel, could have been a trilogy, and you can see the bones of it. You can see it. It's in every fucking scene. You can see the care that the prop master had for the set. You can see the fashion design. Not a single fucking high top from the 1980s. Nobody was wearing sandals. Everybody's in the proper outfits.
They were all dedicated to telling.
Even the extras have pompadours.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the detail that these people wanted to portray in their parts. And it's just sad that it didn't get to reach the potential it had. I saw a lot of potential in it. It's just, it's just sad because I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was funny. I had lots of good, funny scenes in it. It had really good action scenes, like the knife scene. The sledgehammer was a little bit over the top. I would have changed the tool they were fighting with and made it more dramatic, like when they jumped out of the way, to get from getting hit by something with nails sticking out of it or something.
Why not just like grab a semi tractor and just like go around in circles and try to run a guy over, and the guy just circle strafes out of the way like he's playing Serious Sam. I don't know. That would have been just as fucking exciting in the long run.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was exciting. It just was hard to swallow. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah. The pike drivers, the spike drivers being used as weapons, I don't believe it, because in the end you're going to be swinging it too slow. If you're 140 or 160 pounds, it's not going to be going that fast at the other guy. He's going to be able to block it with a shaft like you saw. So the entire movie is a shaft fight. They're beating shafts of the weapon haft against each other. That's it. That's it. And then they get rid of the hammers. And there was an R-rated movie that was the first draft. And you were supposed to have Tommy kill Raven with a knife. Mm-hmm. And even the black cop said, "Get him." I don't understand why this movie had to be PG-13. There's nothing in this movie that's going to draw the Return of the Jedi audience.
People that told him that the script was don't worry about the script being bad because it's the views that people are going to enjoy, the scenery, blah blah blah, are the same people that said, "Oh, we don't want to have anyone blood spewing out or people dying." They
took out all the F-bombs.
People, just like I said, when you start having to get money from producers, and the producers start having say, and they put their daughter in it, and they put their wife, and they put their grandma, or their favorite dog or whatever in the movie, and you have to move everything around to fit these producers' relatives in. It's like that. It starts to change. What?
Janet, I'm going to have my cousin Mikey walk his dog Spike. It's a good-looking dog. It's a Doberman. Really good, really timely here in the 1980s. Everybody loves Dobermans. They're on that Magnum PI show, right?
Yeah.
And we're going to have Mike and Spikey walk by the camera, and you're going to have to, like, nod at him. And just do yourself a favor. Don't be eating any cheeseburgers before, because Spike will jump up on you. And he looks all vicious, but he's just trying to show his love for you. Also, don't let your dog rub up against your leg. He knows everybody's in heat right now, and that's not going to be good for the camera.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
But thank you, everybody, for hanging out with us for a little bit over on X and on YouTube. Appreciate it.
Tentative. Next stream will be Fanboys. Thank you so much, everybody. God bless.